Imagine this, a global currency war brewing in the shadows, where nations plot to shatter America's dollar stranglehold, and one man vows to crush it all with a single threat. What if Trump's tariffs could dismantle an entire alliance overnight? The real question, is the BRICS union truly rising, or has the dollar's king already delivered the knockout blow? In a nutshell, the BRICS alliance dreams of dethroning the dollar with new payment systems and perhaps a shared currency. Yet, President-elect Trump claims his 100% tariff threats have already halted their rebellion. As tensions rise at summits hosted by leaders like Putin, the world wonders, is this the dawn of a new financial order, or just political theater? With leaks from Brazil signaling a pullback on a common coin, and Trump's brash boasts echoing, the stage is set for either unity or collapse. What if the whispers of a BRICS currency aren't just rumors? Could it be China's secret weapon to sever America's economic grip? Picture the faint glow of screens in Beijing offices, the hum of encrypted servers humming like hidden engines, fingers tapping urgently on keyboards sticky with coffee stains. As Russian agencies fume over dollar sanctions that choke their banks like icy hands around a throat, they push for alternatives. India and Brazil, meanwhile, dream of untethered trade, free from Western chains that chafe like rough ropes. Yet, Trump's voice cuts through, declaring BRICS dead with a tariff bombshell. Is he bluffing in this high-stakes game, or have they folded? The air thickens with uncertainty. The scent of risk sharper than ozone after a storm. Shocking twist alert, Brazil's leaked shift away from a full BRICS coin. Is this betrayal or crafty survival? The crackle of paper as memos unfold reveals a pivot to local payments, insurance against Trump's wrath. Feel the weight of invoices piling up, the digital beeps of transactions weighted with fear. China, entrenched in trade battles, scoffs at 100% taxes. Russia's sanction-scarred finances bleed dollar dependence. Will India's balancing act, courting the West while eyeing Russian oil, thread this needle, or snap under pressure? Deadlines loom for the upcoming summit, where AI, health, and finance might mask the real currency gambit. Plans whisper of frameworks for local trade, not revolutions. Does Trump's shadow loom too large, forcing symbolic nods over bold leaps? The pulse races. Could a BRICS payment network defang America's tariff arsenal, ushering peace or chaos? Some predict bloc-shattered trade wars, losses for all, others foresee dollar-wary blocs insulating growth. Trump's return amps protectionism. Will diplomacy prevail, or erupt in 100% fury? As diplomatic tables groan under the strain, with ink-stained treaties and glares, the balance teeters. Is the endgame absolute fracture, or unexpected accord? In this saga, as world leaders huddle under neon lights buzzing like angry insects, the plot thickens. The intricate world of international finance is buzzing with activity as the BRICS nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, gather under the leadership of Vladimir Putin. Fueled by ambition, this coalition of emerging economies seeks to forge an alternative to the Western-dominated financial system. But questions linger. Can they truly unseat the dollar, the reigning champion of global trade? Or are they merely posturing in a high-stakes gamble that might crumble under pressure? Since its inception, BRICS has fervently championed the establishment of financial frameworks that challenge the likes of the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank. A palpable discomfort surrounds the dollar, especially following sanctions that have left Russia's financial landscape in disarray. Nations like India and Brazil echo this sentiment, declaring their desire for economic independence from Western restrictions. Yet, amid these aspirations, there's a notable reluctance to abandon the dollar entirely. During summits, proposals for a common currency often emerge, emphasizing a collective shift towards digital payment systems, but commitment remains elusive. Recent developments hint at a significant shift. Leaked reports from Brazil suggest a pivot towards enhancing local payment systems instead of adopting a common currency. This move could signal a weakening of BRICS' unified stance, raising eyebrows across the ocean. As Trump asserts that his threats of 100% tariffs compelled BRICS to reconsider their strategy, the American media provides a split verdict. Some believe the threat has shaken their resolve, while others regard it as mere political bluster. Is the dollar's grip truly threatened, or is this all bluster? As these nations tread delicate waters, the reality of their relationships with the United States looms large. With China entrenched in a trade war and Russia grappling with sanctions, will India and Brazil backtrack on their ambitions to create a dollar-free trading bloc? The stakes couldn't be higher, and the outcome's uncertain. Anticipation swells. As BRICS prepares for its upcoming summit, where issues like artificial intelligence management and global health are on the agenda, the discussion of a common currency or alternative payment system looms in the background. How will these giants navigate their internal differences and external pressures? As Trump's shadow darkens these negotiations, one thing is clear: the question of a new financial order hangs in the balance, and the world watches closely. What path will they choose to forge in this volatile landscape? As tensions rise globally, a pivotal question emerges: will the BRICS nations forge a common monetary path, or crumble under external pressure? With whispers of a new payment system circulating among these emerging powers, the stakes are higher than ever. Amid the backdrop of President Trump's fervent threats of monumental tariffs, the world watches with bated breath. Recently, Brazil has made a surprising pivot. Instead of pursuing a common currency with the BRICS bloc, it announced a focus on bolstering local payment systems. This shift hints at a potential softening of the collective BRICS currency idea. Brazil claims it will utilize its currency independently of the dollar, yet it raises a pressing inquiry: could this signify the unraveling of BRICS unity? Trump boasts of fracturing this coalition, proudly declaring victory over their ambitions. But even if BRICS doesn't adopt a unified monetary system, they might still seek to lessen their dollar dependency through other avenues. This emerging strategy begs the question: what implications does Brazil's new approach carry for the BRICS coalition? Brazil's abandonment of the common currency plan doesn't entirely signify a retreat from anti-dollar sentiment, but rather suggests a careful delay in their vision of a collective currency. Meanwhile, India grapples with its own complex ties, straddling the line between maintaining its partnership with the West and securing energy deals from Russia. Reports from Indian state media advocate for caution, warning against actions that could escalate conflict with the United States. Ultimately, consensus within BRICS appears fractured. Some advocate for liberation from the dollar's grip, while others call for a more tempered approach. Observers close to Brazil's leadership express a clear understanding of the risks in dollar transactions, asserting a preference for trading mechanisms that leverage regional currencies. In fact, Brazil is forging agreements with China and neighboring countries like Argentina to enhance local trade. This move acts as a safeguard against potential sanctions from the U.S., while India explores similar initiatives to lessen dollar vulnerability. In this swirling cauldron of financial strategy, the question lingers: can the BRICS nations unite against the dollar's hegemony, or will divisions splinter them further? As the clock ticks down to their next summit, the tension is palpable, setting the stage for dramatic developments. Will they gather an alliance, or will the specter of Trump's threats cast a shadow over their ambitions? The world is poised for what happens next in this unfolding saga. In a tense standoff over global finance, Brazil inks deals with China for local currency trades, weaving alliances with neighbors like Argentina to shield against U.S. sanctions. India mirrors this move, forging its own local currency paths to dodge the greenback's shadow. What if the dollar's iron grip crumbles under a quiet coup? Picture the electric hum of trading floors buzzing with anxiety, the sharp tang of sweat in high-stakes boardrooms where leaders plot. Could Trump's tariff thunder, nabbing 100% on defiance, really silence the BRICS chorus? No full rupture here, yet the U.S. loses its heavy hand as these nations sidestep deficits through Asian bargains or regional swaps. Brazil whispers, "I'll balance books elsewhere," daring the dollar's retreat one sly trade at a time. BRICS nations gear up for a summit soon, per Brazil's hints. Topics: AI governance, world health, and fund shakeups. No flashy anti-dollar pacts or joint coins will hit the menu. But optimism falters amid internal clashes, those heated debates where voices rise in frustration. They might ink a loose pact for easier local currency flows, shunning any bold de-dollar mayhem. India's stance wavers, Brazil hedges, enough for Russia and China to steer alone? Trump's 100% tax shadow looms, chilling the air like a frosty ultimatum. The U.S. admin growls, "Swap the dollar, and I'll crush you in my markets." Vital for some BRICS as the American arena tempts with riches, stalling whispers of total greenback exile. Perhaps a token shared payment net emerges, inching forward in cautious steps. Here's the cliffhanger that chills. If BRICS erects barriers to dethrone the dollar, will US slaps unleash whopping tariffs? Might this shatter global trade into rival camps, where tariffs climb, wars rage, and no victor emerges? Opposing voices boom, tariffs sharpen the chaos, everyone bleeds. Yet others counter, BRICS nets could dull the West's weapon, fading tariffs into history. No crystal ball reveals the path. Uncertainty reigns, with bets on diplomacy bridging gaps sans full force. But enter Trump 2.0, stoking protectionist flames anew. If BRICS dares build self-made trade webs, the US hisses, "I'll escalate to 100% tariffs." Feel the pulse-racing betrayal, the tactile weight of shifting power. Which way do you lean? Are BRICS forging a stealthy dollar disruptor that blindsides the US, or do cracks and Trump threats halt their march? Brace for tariff Armageddon or a tariff-free dawn? The global chess game edges on, with every move echoing in the silence of what-ifs. Is this the dawn of fractured worlds, or a phoenix rise from dollar ashes? The stakes climb, the air thick with unspoken threats. What twist lurks next in this explosive saga of finance and fury? The previous segment underscored the growing tensions surrounding the potential formation of a BRICS currency and the mixed responses from its member nations. While some nations push to lessen their reliance on the dollar, others remain cautious of provoking the United States' ire. This context sets the stage for an intriguing diplomatic showdown. As whispers of a new BRICS payment network grow louder, questions swirl about the future of international finance. What if these emerging economies succeed in destabilizing the dollar's reign? Would the United States truly retaliate with overwhelming tariffs? The stakes are sky high. President Trump has vowed to impose tariffs steep enough to cripple those countries that dare challenge his financial authority. But how serious is this threat? BRICS nations face a dilemma. Brazil recently backtracked on the idea of a common currency, now prioritizing local payment systems instead. Meanwhile, India walks a tightrope, balancing relations with the West while nurturing ties with Russia for energy needs. This shifting landscape raises critical questions. Are BRICS nations genuinely prepared to break free from the dollar's grip, or are they merely posturing to appease both sides? With Trump's aggressive tariff threats looming over them, will the BRICS nations succumb to pressure, potentially stifling their ambitions? Or will they forge ahead, creating a financial architecture that fundamentally changes global trade? The answers remain shrouded in uncertainty. Amidst this tension, the upcoming BRICS summit promises to address pressing global issues. However, concrete resolutions regarding a unified currency or alternative payment systems seem unlikely. Delegates may settle for facilitating trades in local currencies but might shy away from any radical moves. As power dynamics shift, are we witnessing a critical turn in global finance? Engagement in local currencies might not signify a complete severance from the dollar's influence, but it reflects a strategic pivot. Brazil's emerging trade agreements with regional partners signal a desire for independence, while India cautiously maps its path. What might these choices reveal about the future of BRICS? Will they create a cohesive front against the dollar, or will internal disagreements slow their progress? As tensions rise, the ramifications of these decisions are immense. Will a new era of trade wars erupt, with countries divided into opposing camps? Or could a smoother diplomatic resolution emerge from this chaos? The world watches closely, awaiting the next move in this high-stakes game of economic chess. Prepare for a future where the balance of power could tip dramatically. Are these nations truly uniting to challenge traditional financial structures? Or are they merely delaying the inevitable, caught in a web of contradictions and external pressures? Only time will tell.